One Piece is a legendary pirate adventure anime created by Eiichiro Oda, known for its rich world and morally complex villains. Donquixote Doflamingo, also known as Joker, is a warlord, underground broker, and former celestial dragon. He manipulates people with his string fruit powers, controlling them like puppets. His cruelty goes beyond physical violence. He breaks people mentally and emotionally. Doflamingo orchestrated a blood-soaked regime in Dressrosa, using lies, force, and terror. What makes him terrifying is how much he enjoys watching people suffer. Even in a world full of pirates, Doflamingo stands out for his twisted ideology and personal trauma. He's always one step ahead, manipulating world events from the shadows. His flamboyant design, the pink feather coat, sunglasses, and smug smile, makes him iconic. Jujutsu Kaisen is a dark fantasy anime created by Gege Akutami, known for its brutal curses and high-stakes battles. Ryomen Sukuna is an ancient and sadistic curse, revived inside the body of a modern student. Once a human sorcerer feared as the king of curses, he now shares a body with Yuji Itadori, waiting to reclaim full control. Sukuna is arrogant, brutal, and completely indifferent to human life. He finds pleasure in destruction, manipulating both allies and enemies for his own gain. Despite being trapped, he remains one of the most terrifying forces in the series. His design, with 4 eyes and demonic markings, makes him instantly recognizable and iconic. His fights are filled with sheer brutality and magical domination. The horror comes not from what he says, but from what he's capable of doing when unshackled. Chrollo Lucilfer appears in Hunter x Hunter, the dark fantasy anime created by Yoshihiro Togashi. He is the enigmatic leader of the Phantom Troop, a group of elite criminals responsible for mass slaughter and high-profile thefts. Despite his calm demeanor, Chrollo orchestrates cruelty with chilling detachment. He treats violence as a philosophy, not as a necessity. His nen ability allows him to steal and use the powers of others, making him both unpredictable and terrifying. He's not driven by revenge or ideology, but by an abstract, almost artistic view of chaos. Even in battle, he remains unreadable, analyzing his enemies like a predator studying prey. Chrollo Lucilfer stands out as a villain whose intellect and moral ambiguity make him unforgettable. Shou Tucker appears in Fullmetal Alchemist, Brotherhood, a dark fantasy anime based on the manga by Hiromu Arakawa. He's initially portrayed as a humble state alchemist who specializes in chimeras. He gained recognition for creating a talking chimera, a feat no one could replicate. But the horrifying truth is that he used his own wife in that experiment. Years later, desperate to keep his state license, he fuses his daughter Nina with their dog. This act of betrayal and cruelty marks him as one of the most disturbing villains in anime. Unlike powerful demons or conquerors, Tucker's horror comes from his humanity. He's a reminder that the worst monsters can wear a friendly face. Monster is a psychological thriller manga by Naoki Urasawa that explores morality, identity, and the nature of evil. Johan Liebert is not just a villain, he's a void in human form. With his angelic face and calm demeanor, Johan manipulates everyone around him into chaos and despair. He doesn't need powers, only words, silence, and presence. Johan turns ordinary people into murderers simply by understanding what breaks them. His genius lies in his ability to disappear from blame, always making others pull the trigger. He is obsessed with the idea of being the last man standing, a perfect, empty being. Johan's greatest weapon is the fear he implants in both characters and viewers. He's a villain that makes you question whether evil can exist without motive. Makima is a central antagonist in Chainsaw Man, a brutal supernatural manga and anime created by Tatsuki Fujimoto. She is introduced as a high-ranking public safety officer, but her true nature is far more sinister. Makima is the control devil, a primal fear that embodies domination and manipulation. She uses charm, authority, and psychological tactics to bend others to her will. Behind her soft voice and polite smile lies absolute ruthlessness. She treats people as tools, disposing of them without remorse. Her power allows her to crush enemies from any distance, as long as she has their name. Makima is terrifying not just because of her strength, but because of her cold belief that she's creating a better world. Griffith is the central antagonist of Berserk, a dark fantasy manga created by Kentaro Miura. He begins as the charismatic leader of the Band of the Hawk, a mercenary group that rises through the ranks of Midland's army. Griffith dreams of owning his own kingdom, and for a time, he seems noble and selfless. But his ambition blinds him, and after a tragic downfall, he sacrifices his comrades in a demonic ritual. He is reborn as Femto, a member of the God Hand, trading his humanity for power. This betrayal is one of the most infamous moments in anime and manga history. Griffith is both mesmerizing and terrifying, a symbol of corrupted ambition. He represents how far a person can fall in pursuit of a dream. Bleach is a shonen manga created by Tite Kubo, blending sword fights, spirits, and betrayals in a world between the living and the dead. Aizen begins as a kind and intelligent captain, hiding a mind of terrifying ambition. His betrayal shakes the very foundation of Soul Society, revealing how long he has manipulated events. With his Zanpakuto, Kyoka Suigetsu, he controls perception itself, an illusion so absolute it renders opponents helpless. Aizen doesn't want power for power's sake, he seeks godhood, believing himself above all others. Even after defeat, he remains arrogant, composed, and utterly unfazed. Aizen is not ruled by emotion, he is calm, calculating, and always 5 steps ahead. He represents the villain who doesn't raise his voice, because he doesn't need to.
Now try clicking on the next video before I finish counting. 3, 2, 1, you lose.